You have felt the weight of a gaze that judges you before you speak. There are people in your life who have decided you are the enemy without a single act of aggression on your part. You search for a mistake only to find a vacuum. You are being punished for a crime you didn't commit. This isn't a misunderstanding. It is a psychological reaction to your clarity. Once you hear the 5 exact reasons for this hostility, you will stop trying to fix it. You will finally understand why it was never your fault. The first reason people hate you for no reason is that you represent the unlived life. Every human being carries a version of themselves they were too afraid to become. They had dreams they traded for security and talents they suppressed to fit in. When you walk into a room and you are operating within your own potential, when you are disciplined, healthy, or simply comfortable in your own skin, you become a physical manifestation of everything they gave up. Your presence is a reminder of their compromise. They do not see you. They see a ghost of who they could have been if they had made different choices. This creates a profound psychological discomfort. To resolve this pain, they have 2 choices. They can change their lives, or they can find a reason to dislike you. Changing a life is a grueling, uphill battle. Finding a flaw in yours is an effortless shortcut. Their hostility is not an indictment of your character. It is a shield they use to protect themselves from their own regret. They hate the mirror you hold up to them, so they try to crack the glass. The second reason is the disruption of the social script. Most environments operate on an unwritten set of rules designed to keep everyone comfortable, predictable, and equally mediocre. These scripts are built on shared insecurities and common complaints. People bond over their grievances, their laziness, or their mutual excuses. If you refuse to follow that script, if you do not participate in the gossip, if you do not complain about the work, or if you refuse to downplay your progress to make others feel better, you become a threat to the group's equilibrium. By simply being different, you are inadvertently exposing the fact that the group's limitations are self-imposed. They hate you because you prove that their impossible is actually possible. You are the outlier that makes the machine look broken, and the easiest way to fix the machine is to remove the outlier. They aren't trying to bring you down. They are trying to bring the room back to a temperature where they no longer feel inadequate. The third reason involves the illusion of ease. Humans are naturally inclined to believe that success or peace should be a gift, not a wage. When people see you navigating life with a certain level of grace or effectiveness, they assume it was handed to you. They do not see the hours of solitude, the rejection of cheap pleasures, or the internal battles you fought to reach your current state of mind. Because they cannot see the work, they assume the result is unfair. They view your competence as a form of unearned privilege. This allows them to feel morally superior in their struggle. By hating you for your luck, they justify their own stagnation. They aren't reacting to your reality. They are reacting to a fantasy they've created to explain why they aren't where you are. They see the trophy, but they refuse to see the sweat, because acknowledging your effort would mean acknowledging their own lack of it. The fourth reason is the betrayal of evolution. This happens most often with people who have known you for a long time. People have a mental map of who you are, usually based on your weakest or most vulnerable moments. When you grow, evolve, or move past your old self, you are essentially tearing up their map. This terrifies them. If you can change, it means they have no excuse to stay the same. They will try to pull you back into your old skin by reminding you of your past mistakes or by mocking your new direction. Their dislike is a desperate attempt to freeze you in time. They hate you because your growth is a direct challenge to their stability. They would rather have a broken version of you that they understand than a powerful version of you that they don't. Your evolution feels like a betrayal to them because it proves that no one is truly stuck, including them. The fifth reason is the projective shadow. Every person has parts of themselves they refuse to acknowledge: the greed, their cowardice, their ego, or their anger. Instead of dealing with these traits, they project them onto others. If you are someone who is observant or holds a high standard, you become the perfect canvas for their projections. They will accuse you of being arrogant because they are struggling with their own feelings of insignificance. They will call you cold because they are afraid of their own emotional volatility. They use you as a scapegoat for the qualities they hate in themselves. By making you the villain in their story, they get to remain the hero in theirs. It is a form of psychological outsourcing. You are carrying the weight of their shadows so they don't have to. You are not being hated for what you are. You are being hated for what they refuse to admit they are. This leads us to a difficult realization. The hatred directed at you is not a punishment for your flaws. It is often a tax you pay for your clarity. In a world that thrives on blurred lines and shared delusions, being a defined shape is an act of rebellion. The friction you feel from the world is simply the sound of your own gravity. To be hated for no reason is the ultimate evidence that you are no longer invisible. It means you have taken up space. It means you have a frequency that is loud enough to be heard, even by those who wish to remain deaf. Your peace is not a sign of their defeat, but your lack of reactivity is a sign of your own victory. Every moment you spend wondering why they dislike you is a moment you give them power over your internal state. The only way to win is to stop playing the game of justification. However, there is a danger here. It is easy to take these truths and use them to build a wall of arrogance. You must be careful not to turn this insight into a weapon of the ego. This is not permission to look down on others as lesser or unawakened. If you use the dislike of others to fuel a sense of superiority, you have become exactly what they are, someone using another person to regulate their own self-worth. This insight is not about becoming untouchable. It is about becoming unshakable. It is not about isolating yourself in a tower of perceived excellence. It is about having the integrity to remain centered when the world around you is trying to pull you into its chaos. True maturity is recognizing that someone can hate you, and it still has nothing to do with you. Integrity is not about how you treat those who love you. It is about how you maintain your own character in the presence of those who don't. Do not let their hostility dictate your temperament. If you become bitter because they are bitter, they have won. If you become loud because they are loud, you have adopted their frequency. Your goal is not to defeat them, but to remain so aligned with your own purpose that their noise becomes nothing more than background static. This requires a profound level of self-discipline. It means choosing clarity over resentment and choosing your own path over the desire for revenge. You must be willing to walk through the world being misunderstood, knowing that your value is not a democratic decision. To move forward, you must stop seeking a peace treaty with people who are at war with themselves. You cannot negotiate with a projection. You cannot apologize for a mirror. The time you spend trying to win over your detractors is time you are stealing from the people who actually deserve your presence. You must learn to accept that being disliked is a natural byproduct of living an authentic life. It is the cost of entry for anyone who refuses to be a background character in their own story. You do not owe anyone a version of yourself that makes them feel more comfortable in their own stagnation.